Good afternoon, Philippines. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. It is Copa Paulino Alcantara 2023 action. It is the second leg already of our quarterfinals between Mendiola FC 1991 and Dynamic Herb Cebu FC. PFL squads advancing to the big dance. And alongside Levi Verora, this is Clara Manzano on call for this match. And you were catching this dito po sa ating Facebook at YouTube pages. And as it stands, Levi, may advantage ang Cebu dito. Lamang sila 2-0 on aggregate thanks to the goals of Rio Togashi and Arja Chonker sa first leg kasi aggregate ang score dito over 2 games.
Yeah, but if you are Cebu, obviously you want to approach this match without really minding that 2-0 advantage right now. Your immediate goal is to perform well in this match and play it the right way so that you have a better chance of advancing to the semifinals.
Definitely, as Mendiola, we can say have their work cut out, but that can all change here depending on how they perform. Of course, sabi nga ni Hamed Hajimadi, emphasis dito, gusto na nila maka 3 goals para lamang sila sa aggregate, as we will keep you posted on that as we will take it to the starting 11. First and foremost, it is Mendiola FC. They are out to replicate that performance of theirs in 2019 wherein they got to advance to the semi-finals. And of course, the squad has been looking promising even if they had to take the third place route, because mind you, they were the best third placer sa kanilang grupo, yung group of death that was composed of the likes of, well, other than them, of course, nandun yung Davao Aguilas Yumac, nandun yung Stallion Laguna FC. At yung maganda rito, Mendiola can get results when they are having a difficult day and komportable sila sa mga close fought matches, as we saw when they squared off with Davao. That was a 3-3 thriller, and I just ran out of words to describe how things went in that match.
Right, and as you can see, if you're talking about Mendiola, they are very capable of scoring. You know, they can score 3-4 goals in the course of a 90-minute match. So this second leg is winnable for them. And although wala pa yung starters on your screens, they have loaded up yung kanilang harapan with a lot of forwards and then Hamed Hajimadi in the middle. So you do get that feel na they're going to go all out offensive for this, because this is a winnable match for them. They need to score at least 2 goals, 3 para hindi na mag-extra time. But that's why there's also pressure here for Cebu not to let their guards down para they can advance to the semifinals.
And when we talk about Cebu FC, they want to bounce back from their AFC Cup defeat, which was a difficult one. Their first AFC Cup match overseas or playing away, that was in Australia versus MacArthur FC, if I recall correctly. But when you look at it in local perspective, medyo okay, pinapakita nila. Again, they're coming off a win when you look at local perspective. Pero if you factor in yung mga international, yan nga, they're coming off a loss and they are dangerous because it is sure that they are hungrier than ever, as we take it down to the ground for your pre-match walk-in. Again, it is Mendiola FC 1991 and Cebu FC in the Copa Paulino Alcantara 2023. Currently running through our pre-match protocol, and we have dynamic Herb Cebu FC and Mendiola FC 1991. Cebu again, lamang po sila sa aggregate 2-0 as the quarterfinals will be played over 2 games. So this is leg number 2 already. Kung tabla tayo, Levi, after 90 minutes by extra time, and afterwards, if necessary, we will be having the penalty shootouts, which is, of course, an absolute lottery. As we see our skippers, Rientaro Hama and Franco de la Torre. At yan ang ating match officials. Ang referee ay si Clifford Daipuyat. Ang mga assistant referees ay sila Hossein Mag-Usara at Segundo Saluria III. Ang fourth official ay si Michael Barajas at si Ray Retaga ay ang referee assessor. Last but not the least, ang match commissioner natin ay si Mr. Robin Allen Kainglet. And Mr. Clara Manzano on call for this match alongside Levi Verora. And what do you think? Are these teams tired of one another? Kasi second game na, sawang-sawa na ba sila?
Well, we did mention on top of the coverage that Mendiola FC 1991, this is a winnable match for them. They're capable of scoring. They have some quality offensive options. And even the captain, Franco de la Torre, can hit from quite a considerable distance. And so if you're Cebu, gaya ng nabanggit ko, you really have to throw that 2-0 advantage for now and just focus on the 90 minutes that's in front of you. And if you're Mendiola, of course, you take it one possession at a time. You know na kaya nyong makipagsabayan with the best of the best in the local club football scene. And so anything can happen in this match.
As it is close to kickoff already, and we will take you through the starting lineups. Mendiola, as we know, are very dangerous and an energetic team on the counter-attack. Si Pellejo ay ang goalkeeper. Their defenders will be Razonable, Escosora, Renia, Season, and Edulan. Ang mga midfielders, it will be that dynamic duo of Ahmed Hajimadi and Franco de la Torre. Sila Nicolay Abalos, Aaron Carlos, and Paul Mapula ay ang ating strikers. Sa Cebu, kita nga natin sa Mendiola, naka 5-2-3, or maybe we can expect this to be more like a 5-3-2. Ang Cebu naman ay naka 4-4-2 with Ralphie Dabao, Jaime Rosquillo, Goktug Demiroglu, and Papo Corsame, mga defenders, JB Borlongan, Rio Togashi, Daniel Gadia, Ivan Oano ay ang midfield, and the tip of the spear will be Rentaro Hama, and we've got Marius Core. And we are off. Cebu playing from right to left in all red, and Mendiola, we can say, are in their gold kits. And sino kaya mga players to look out for dito, Levi?
Well, we designated, kumbaga, the battle of the stabilizers here for Mendiola. Of course, the seasoned veteran, Ahmed Hajimadi, who is playing from the midfield, covers a lot of ground, can facilitate, can distribute, can also attack on his own. Ganun din naman sa kabila, Daniel Gadia, of course, we saw him sa kanyang kalakasan playing more of the forward position, pero now he's just settled into that stabilizer role again from the midfield, can also attack, but sometimes even from a defensive oriented lineup, siya naman yung tumatao sa likod.
So if Hamed wants to get his way to the semis and fight back from this 2-0 hole, he will have to get past Gadia. Cebu naman, if they want to stay on track, Gadia, of course, will have to contain Ahmed Hajimadi at the least. So, will it be Cebu or Mendiola? Whose side are you on? Pakilagay na lang sa ating comments section as they will drive this in, going for the further post. This was sent in by Togashi. Ito with Borlongan nasa gitna. Binalik dito sa kaliwa. Togashi thought about it. The cross. Nobody there to meet it. At mukhang may corner kick tayo ulit, Levi.
Back-to-back corner kicks for Cebu. Quite the start that you expect from them. Of course, they're not gonna take their foot off the gas pedal. Ika nga, they're up 2-0, but you have to play it the right way and can't ask for more sa gantong klaseng simula.
So mukhang si Rio Togashi ay ang corner kick taker din sa kabila. So now, it is over the bar though. Close but not quite. Looks like that was from Jaime Rosquillo. Nonetheless, okay pa tong start nila.
Of course, Rosquillo has a lot of height. They take it short here. Humanap lang ng magandang angulo. And look at that sharp attempt of a header. Just inches above the crossbar. Dream start for Cebu, and if you're Mendiola, kailangan ma-handle mo yung pressure na to dahil siguro nakakaba or nakakayanig when you start this match and you have a team that's really going for your head right away.
Cebu, of course, able to attract talent as a result of their AFC Cup participation, which is also the club's first, and a very young club, actually. Only about 2 years old, and they are already playing on the continental level. As there's a closer look at your captain for Cebu, Orintaro Hama. Barish Tasi is listed on the bench for them, their usual skipper, Nakay Demiroglu. Korsame. Togashi got it to the right. Looks like it is Owano. The cross. Medyo nawala yung angulo dun. It was kind of deep. Mukhang goal kick to. Outside na ata ang tawag.
Yeah, I believe one of the assistant referees was already signaling for that flag. There was quite an entanglement then from inside the box. We didn't see it from that angle, pero meron niyang nasubsob na player yung Mendiola, and so they get that ball back. At wag lang tayo malito, no, sa lahat ng nanonood. Of course, we associate Mendiola with red dahil sa kanilang sa kanilang ties with San Beda University, but Mendiola wearing that golden jersey right now. Ang nakapula ngayon is Cebu FC.
So Cebu FC are now playing behind the ball, and they eventually get in, try to unleash on the counter. Togashi playing Owano. Owano playing in the wing. Madalas up front siya bilang striker. Togashi, you see the influence of the Japanese players of CFC. Dito naman daw, sa gitna, Gadia. Again, he is that engine. Davao, Borlongan. The man from Cagayan de Oro. Davao, whipped it in. A chance taken. Owano's shot denied. At nakuha rito ng Mendiola. Chance now on the counter. Razonable just ran into a brick wall. And something, of course, when we talk about Mendiola FC, halos lahat ng mga players, number 1, taga San Beda University. At halos lahat, number 2, champion sa NCAA.
But they will need that chemistry, obviously. Ang maganda rito, familiar na sila sa isa't isa. They, of course, because it's a pro team, they're operating as a pro team, syempre they will add some quality personnel, kagaya ng mga Asian players like Hamed and so on. So it's good to see, of course, the culture, the football culture, of course, of San Beda going to the highest levels of local football here in the country.
As you were saying yesterday, no, sa mga games natin, nandun yung pathway. Habang naglalaro yung mga players for San Beda University or even players sa NCAA, nandun ang Mendiola, a team that could possibly scout them or they could join, as Borlongan sent this one out, sending his apologies.
Very tough angle there para kay Borlongan. Medyo malalim na kaya hindi na nagawa ng paraan yung pagpektos dun sa bola using his left foot also. But we know Borlongan is very capable of delivering from either side of the wing.
So, when we run through the numbers, yung mga leading scorers ng Mendiola ay sila Junior Sam and Hamed Hajimadi. Unfortunately, walang Junior Sam for them here. So, let's see how Hamed will lift them up. At sa assist, si Kenneth Payosalan ay ang lead assist man. He is listed as a substitute. So yan, syempre yung mga veterano ng Mendiola FC. Fixtures over the course of their tenure here in the likes of the Philippines Football League at ang Copa. And Cebu continuing to pile up the pressure, but Hama couldn't get to it. It was just sent out to safety. That was by Keith Edulan.
Too much elevation on that lob by Hama, but fortunately for them, that ball was sent the opposite way as they earn already their third corner of this match, Cebu.
Cebu taking control of this match from the get-go. And this one up for grabs in the box. At may tawag po rito.
That was a great lob by Borlongan. Kasasabi lang natin, he's very capable of delivering for as long as nakaset na ganyan. Poked away by Pellejo, and then I believe yung tulak sa likod galing kay Uano ang tinawagan. So sayang para sa Cebu.
So Cebu's first foray forward. That might be the first time that they've crossed the half line in this match as they are trying to get something on offense. Throw in taken. And an unforced error. But there was the great initiative from Hamed to take it right away. Babalik ang bola dito sa Cebu. It will rattle around. Togashi got it over to Borlongan. Great find. Borlongan space to operate. But they just got the job done behind Edulan. They're contesting that. Sabi nila throw-in para sa kanila ang Mendiola. Referee said it is Cebu ball. Dabao and Borlongan connecting. JB Borlongan has just been a beast unleashed throughout his time with Cebu. And definitely a player to look out for, and has given us some memorable goals already.
And it's nice to just see Borlongan, of course, just given the freedom to operate from his area on the field. Para naman dito sa Mendiola, of course, you have to play through the whistle. It was a good initial effort from Edulan to delay the attack ni Borlongan kanina lang. But, you know, unless the referee points out na bola, you have to keep on playing. That's kumbaga also a sign of maturity on the part of your team and your individual players.
So medyo na-late sila kasi kinakausap nila yung ref. Demiroglu. Siguro one of two players dito na may iconic hairstyle katulad ni Rintaro, Hama. Top 2 siguro sa team, so top 10 sa league. Sama na natin si Kore. Siyempre, makikita natin dun. He's there in the middle. But the action's on the other side. Owano, Togashi got it there. And it cleared off eventually. They're anchored by Gel Season there. And there's that matchup. Yan nga, Hamed versus Gadia. It's been Gadia with the initiative. Borlongan. Offside daw ang tawag.
Well, the ball went out regardless. And pansin natin, obviously, just lots of pressure for Cebu early on. Yun ang nagagawa ng 4-4-2. Of course, it depends on the personnel you have from the midfield. Pero obviously, for them, when you have Borlongan, when you have Kore, when you have Gadia, it's more of an attacking 4-4-2 than a defensive 4-4-2.
That is right. As the thing with Gadia is that he can be used in the attack and on defense. Nung nasa UP siya, of course, in his collegiate days, he was just on a different level at that time relative to his opponents. And it is no surprise. Naka-transition siya dito sa pro ranks. We've seen Gadia be utilized mainly bilang defensive midfielder, but of course, yan yung maganda sa midfielder or a challenge. You have to be able to do both. And he's been able to do so. And coaches love that skill set. Kaya dumepensa, kaya matake. Demiroglu getting forward. Trying to launch this one. And it is shy of the far post. Foraying forward from his center-back position alongside Jaime Rosquillo.
Quite an ambitious try here from the Turkish reinforcement. Although there was room to really take that shot. And I like your point. And the way football's being played today, it's quite possessionless na nga, ika nga. No, you don't really stay in one position. Even Pafu Korsame, for instance, is a full-back but can really just rush forward when the transition presents itself and be of help with the goal scoring.
And talking about that, Pellejo will put this back in. Hama. Togashi. They have just been controlling the midfield. At ito na, si Owano. Headed off by the likes of De La Torre, and it was saved by Pellejo. Definitely the busier keeper of the two here.
Already the second save at the very least for Mark Pellejo. Sa kabila naman, Cebu starting ace Villanueva. Another homegrown talent from the UAAP. You love to see those players just getting this pathway.
So taken by Togashi and no good. Cebu getting that attacking spell off their hard work, pressing the back line. But there's Pellejo again.
It has to be more compact than that for Mendiola. Although they're getting their stops. Sa midfield pa lang, you have to mark your men already and prevent them from seeing the spaces and delivering that ball.
So let's see how they'll keep that going. Kore kay Owano. Ivan Owano. Definitely a dream for him to be playing for his home team, Cebu. Of course, as it rhymes with his name, Ivan Owano is a Cebuano. Davao, but Togashi ran into traffic against the likes of Mapula. Hamed got it back. De La Torre, dispossessed by Kore. He took a fall. Coach Josh Shermer not happy with that non-call. They lob this one. Kore into the gloves of the keeper again. It's been relatively stable from Pellejo. You like what he is displaying. Now Mendiola will try to get moving and string their attack together. Pero halos lahat ng traffic natin, Levi, right to left as that shot was launched by Hama, but the offside flag was up already. Kita nyo dun sa kabila.
But you love the effort here for Cebu. Nakakita lang ng konting puwang and tinira agad. Unfortunately, yung positioning ng players may nauna. Kaya na-nullify yung shot attempt nito ni Kore.
So, this will be played out from the back. Halos lahat ng traffic natin mula kanan papuntang kaliwa in favor of Cebu FC.
And Mendiola, medyo nahihirapan din to keep that ball. They have to protect the possession because they're not getting a lot so far. 15 minutes into this match. And just as I say that, again, it's not even unforced, or forced rather, for them. They just have to keep that ball, a good first touch, good second touch. That's what's happening here.
A cheeky back heel there from Mapula. De La Torre. Came off of Davao though. So, kanina binanggit natin ang leading scorers ng Mendiola. They are Hamed Hajimadi at si Junior Sam. Walang ulit si Junior. As De La Torre just ran into Demiroglu. A tough man to beat. Cebu scoring 16 goals and only allowing 3. That's when you include the group stage and already the first game sa ating quarterfinals. Oh, at ang kaibigan natin, one of our colleagues, si John at Coseba did say sila Mapula and Renya. Cebuano rin sila. Players of Mendiola playing against their home province or home team. Owano in the middle. Still got it. Great footwork there. Hama. Kore taking it. Denied by the likes of Razonable. Here comes Aaron Carlos. There's a closer look again at Goktug Demiroglu. At sa matchup nga natin, pwede natin sabihin, it is Aaron Carlos versus Demiroglu. Carlos yung target man nila. He'll try to out-muscle this counterpart as here comes Hama. Dribble past one. Togashi. Hama! That would have been spectacular if they connected there, but it is no good.
Glorious 1-2 connection between the two attacking players. See that here once again to the left and then ibinalik. Just the volley, just the finish ang nagkulang dito para sa Cebu. Could have been 3-0 right away aggregate.
But that the case is, it remains goalless here. if this will stick, kung 0-0 draw tayo ngayon, Cebu will advance by virtue of the 2-0 aggregate score. Bale, tinototal ang score dito sa dalawang games. So we are now playing the second one. Cebu won the first 2-0. Itong tabla tayo, may extra time at penalty shootouts. As there was a collision, that looked like a boot from the initial look. Hamed furious. Gadia sending his apologies. A man from Mendiola down. It just happened so quickly.
And Hamed obviously just protective of his teammates. Did not appreciate that. Although he doesn't have to do that because the referee was already on top of the situation. Yun nga lang, sometimes of course your emotions get the best out of you, and we know Hamed, he's a very caring teammate para sa mga kakampi niya, and that's why he did that.
So Daniel Gadia gets booked. First card of the game. Let's take a look. It may have been studs or the knee.
Right. Diretso sa tuhod. Parang nagplanta yung, of course, yung boot nito ni Gadia. And obviously masakit yan because matulis yung ilalim ng football shoes. It will sting for a while, but of course, maipapagpag rin eventually.
But thankfully, Mendiola will be able to continue as they'll try to get their attack going. It's been mainly defense. De La Torre. There was also Abalos earlier for them. Togashi, Gadia, Kore, Borlongan, Davao, just bringing in those passes together in harmony. Borlongan, the defense to beat, and they send it for the opener. And it is in the 20th minute. It looks like it's Ritaro Hama. He's been knocking on the door and gets it.
What a sequence that was. Nagsimula yun sa 1-2 dito sa kaliwa between Kore and Borlongan. And then of course the assist by Borlongan. And of course the finish coming from Hama does the rest. Ito yung sinasabi ko, the 1-2, lots of space here for Borlongan. Good field vision of course. And then of course the help also of the post, or one of the posts here for Hama.
And then Borlongan making the magic work. Great team goal. And you also have to credit Ivan Owano for making that run to just get that defense of Mendiola to spread out as we see Stallion Laguna arriving. One of them was Toto Bedia in their crew. Shout out sa'yo, Kuya Toto. It's back with Villanueva. One of his first few touches of the game. The ball will stay with Cebu FC. So again, yung scorers of Mendiola na binanggit natin. So for Cebu, it is Chima Ozoka at Arda Chunker. Wala si Ozoka due to a foot injury. Si Arda Chunker, ang isang Turkish player nila, nasa bench. Villanueva. Pressure now from Carlos. Cebu having to work under pressure. Mendiola putting in the work. And there you go, they force an error.
One of the very few instances here where Ace Villanueva has had to work inside the area for them. Like what you said, one-way traffic virtually for most of the match so far. And ang kagandahan dito now, Cebu, they're up 3-0. A bit of breathing room here. They just have to continue playing well.
And there is Noy Filonco also coming on to prepare for the next game. Mamaya may Maharlika Manila versus Stallion Laguna FC, which is the other quarterfinal match for today. But let's focus on this one. The winner of this of this tie will face Davao Aguilas UMAC in the semifinals.
Davao Aguilas, of course, finally putting that nail on the coffin. It was Serge Caule again. 2-0 aggregate, tig-isang goal in each leg for them. It's good to see the Aguilas, of course, advance further into the deeper stages of this tournament.
Davao, of course, a returning squad. Davao suiting up before in the Philippines Football League and in the Copa. Demiroglu getting this one. Right intentions. Delivery just not on point.
Medyo nagdalawang isip sila doon because Core, kung kinuha niya yun, it could have been offside, and that's why they went to Borlongan instead. However, masyadong malakas yung pasa, and an obvious shove here from Gadia sa likuran ni Hamed. Again, the two players to watch, the two stabilizers, and also reacting quite lividly to the officials. We'll see it right here, klaro. Ayun, yung tulak sa likod, medyo nasubsob nga itong si Hamed.
Gadia was an animated player, just very passionate, as we know over the years. But a great guy when we get to speak with him. So earlier we did hear the venue announcer say that it is a goal for Borlongan, but it is confirmed, as we said earlier, that it is Rentaro Hama. So that was in the 20th minute. So it is a 3-0 lead for Cebu on aggregate as they are knocking on the door. Will they make it 2-0 in this game? Borlongan. Core just touches in the goalkeeper box as Togashi took a fall. But referee Clifford Daipuya takes no interest there and says goal kick dito.
Well, I don't think there's enough contact to merit a penalty. It was really Togashi who went to the body of the defender and tried to fish for that penalty call. Pero ang kagandahang ginagawa ng Cebu ngayon is that they're just taking advantage of Borlongan being very sneaky on the left flank, and then Core comes up, Uano comes up. There are two Japanese reinforcements also getting involved in the play. Sobrang dominado ng Cebu yung left side of their attacking half right now.
Pellejo gets this back into play off of Uano. Second ball by Demiroglu. Core will he secure contra Franco de la Torre. Borlongan. Tight space here. Trying to duel now with Edulan. And it stays with Cebu. 25 minutes into this match already, and Cebu FC in red with this 1-0 lead in the match. Behind Rintaro Hama, it's Copa Paulino Alcantara 2023 action from the Rizal Memorial Stadium, and you are catching this in the Facebook and YouTube pages. Paki-share na lang po ang ating stream. We're here to keep you company on this Monday. Starting off your work week. Football pa rin tayo, syempre.
It's the third straight match day here inside Rizal Memorial. Nagsimula tayo ng Sabado with the PFF Women's League semifinals, and then back-to-back Sunday and Monday. Leg 2 naman ng quarterfinals ng inyong Copa. So, of course, papalapit to the final stage of both competitions.
That's right, and it's back underway. De La Torre slid it over to Hamed. Hamed looking for an angle. Rosquillo just cleared it initially. Will Core secure? He is up against Mapula. Gadia. And now Cebu will try to unleash. Playing this one long to Hama. Nagmamadali. What a fake, but just poked away well by Jel Season. Hama pa rin. Getting clipped though. But referee says play on. Shot taken, and looks like that's good. Looks like that is from Togashi this time around. 2-0. Cebu just getting 1 foot now in the semifinals.
And that is the importance of yung follow-up. You look at Corsame just coming alive from the right side of your screens. And then Togashi does the rest. Nagsimula yung sequence na yan from a transition. They went long. Mag-isa lang si Hama noon, but you gotta admire the follow-up here. Bumaba si Wano, bumaba si Togashi, and then Kurosame eventually rewarding Togashi with an assist as he does the rest.
So Escosora actually got it out from Hama, but unfortunately no support. Cebu getting numbers forward to swarm Mendiola. And that is why they find themselves here in this 2-0 lead.
And mind you, Clara, they're doing this with Chinker, of course, on the bench, and Chima, of course, not in uniform. So you have to just admire the effort here of Cebu. Malalim rin ang kanilang roster, although for this match in particular, they only have 7 subs listed. Dalawa pa dun, goalkeeper.
That's right, 3 players unavailable for Cebu. One of them is Jacob Liao, who did tear his ACL in the first game versus the University of the Philippines. That was a home game for them. And we wish Jacob Liao a continuous or speedy recovery.
And gaya ng nabanggit natin, when Mendiola has the ball, they have to take care of it. Sometimes it's just careless, inaccurate passing for them. It shows you also the level they're at in terms of the individual skills. They have to really perfect their individual skills here para pag pinagsama-sama mo when they're on the field, it's also going to be, mararamdaman mo yung synergy, and I'm not surprised they're making early changes already.
Substitutions early on in the match, and that means it is not going well for them. And the scoreboard paints the picture. It looks like it is Payo Salan checking in along with Amir Aningalan. And these are some regulars for Mendiola in the Philippines Football League. So these guys will be coming off the bench.
Payo Salan has definitely more experience than some of the other players here for Mendiola. It looks like they will switch to a more compact 3-5-2 here with Payo Salan and Aningalan, both midfielders. I won't be surprised if they insert Joshua Polinag as well, or Banaynal, just to defend itong si Borlongan from the left.
So it looks like there was a tug there by a tug on Demiroglu. It will go back their way. And mind you, the man playing alongside Demiroglu is the youthful Jaime Rosquillo, who was playing with the youth national team setup of the Philippines. So that's where we can see the future of Philippine football. Papu. But this ball is overcooked.
Good find by Pafu, just did not hit the target, which was of course Hama, who's wearing the captain's armband right now. And for Cebu, alam nila they have only 5 outfielders sa kanilang substitutes, so there's a bit of pressure to already get those conversions before the first half is over, so that makahinga na sila ng maluwag dito. And that's exactly what they did. 2 goals in the span of 8 minutes. That will get the job done quite earlier than expected for them.
So they can opt to go in cruise control here. But that doesn't really seem to be the case. Cebu keen on adding to their goal tally, and also with staying sharp by playing hard in the Copa. They will get to fine-tune themselves in the AFC Cup. Unfortunately, though, for Cebu, it's been 2 defeats in as many games. Well, plenty of takeaways there, whether it be a learning experience, as we always say. But they also did manage to score their first goals as in that aforementioned tournament. I believe one is an own goal that they were able to force, and then it was Rintaro Hama. So officially, Rintaro Hama scored Cebu's first goal in their club's history in the AFC Cup. Hamed, but Payo Salan did not get to connect, sadly. Aaron Carlos got to get it to Hamed. Hamed lobs this over. Mapula. Mind you, the pitch is still a little bit damp as we had those rains hours before kickoff. Hajimari kontra Gadia. There's a shove right there. Referee took no interest. It was Payosalan who was floored.
I believe that was side to side. Not much of an extension of the arm.
So it looks like it was good in that perspective.
Good stop for Cebu, and obviously they're not going to bring that intensity down. They will want to score a lot more, as I believe referees playing advantage here.
So 2 players getting floored in the process for Cebu, and Payosalan just minutes in gets booked already. That's the first yellow for Mendiola in this game, but the second overall. The yellow card kanina si Daniel Gadia ng Cebu.
And you could have already called the foul there. I wonder what Payosalan's intention was. If it was to stop that play for or to show concern to Hama, but ang problema dun, natawagan siya or nabigyan siya ng yellow card.
And it was a challenge from behind, hence that warranted a yellow.
No play for the ball whatsoever for Payo, and now a set piece for Cebu. Although there is some distance here, they can organize sa kanilang attacking half.
So free kick to resume things. And they played it back. Quite surprising they played it back considering that they had their numbers forward, waiting for a delivery. As here's Papu, switching it up. Dabao. Kore. Tried to backheel it but wasn't on the same page as Togashi. Togashi kontra Payosalan. This one back now. Payosalan, he gave it over to Aningalan, his fellow sub. Connecting with Aaron Carlos. What a run here forward for them. Aula swung it over to the left, and this is a chance though. Cebu escaping by the skin of their teeth. There's a Mendiola man who was decked. Hama still opting to play along with Togashi. Looks like it's cramps on the other end though. They opt to play on. Togashi. Borlongan. JB up against Sison. Cut it back. Payosalan clears it and play finally stopped.
It took a while for that sequence to really be stalled here. You have a player down for Mendiola. I think that is Aningalan. But before that, that was one of the best sequences for Mendiola.
Definitely.
You saw them build from the back, couple of short passes, couple of 1-2s, and then the lob from the left side. Yun nga lang, unable to find that connection. Medyo minalas lang because Aningalan is down. It's been just minutes after he was inserted into the match.
I believe that's Coach Nino Datoy of Mendiola. Of course, believe that play should have been stopped right away, but the rested fine to Abalos on the left side and crossed in from Razonable from the looks of it. Banggaan sila. And Ace Villanueva and the Mendiola FC attacker.
Yeah, that's what happened. Just the forearm of Villanueva tagging itong player ng Mendiola.
So we see how it went on again. Accidental contact going for the ball. It was Paul Mapula who was decked.
Right.
So before we resume play, we just take a look at some pointers from the group stage. Cebu FC topped Group B as the favorite. And ang matchup nila yung Mendiola FC. They made it to the quarterfinals as the best third placer. So we ranked the third placers. Nandun ang Mendiola, ang University of the Philippines, at ang Philippine Air Force. Philippine Air Force at the bottom there, hence UP and Mendiola advanced, and here we are. But Mendiola are or find themselves in this hole to climb out of. They are down 4-0 on aggregate, so they have to score 4 goals here to force extra time. And if they can go for it, 5 goals can get them to the semifinals. And there's some pushing and shoving there between Mapula and Rosquillo. Gets dispossessed. Rosquillo poked it away from Nebreja. And check natin ang comments section. Shout out kay sila Pat Mendoza. Isang viewer din, si MJ Capalar. Hello. Ray B. De La Torre watching his son, Franco daw. Tatay ng captain ng Mendiola.
And so far, Jaime Rosquillo, good account of himself here, just getting those denials in one-on-one situations. Makikita mo yung kalidad nito ni Rosquillo, and that's why he was part of the youth national team. We expect to see him in the seniors national team anytime soon.
Of course, now he's with a chance to get more exposure. Parang kahapon lang nakikita natin sila Rosquillo at Amirul playing side by side bilang center back sa youth national team setup natin. The Ascals development team. And they got this to Borlongan. It was a great find. So numbers forward together. Davao, Corsame in the middle. Got past one. Takes it though. And it is off target. But there's a man down for Cebu on the other side. It is Togashi from the looks of it.
Good decision making on the part of referee Clifford Daipuyat na wag muna ihinto yung laban. He saw that there was a sequence with a chance for Cebu to score. And you know Corsame, he's gonna take that when he sees some daylight.
Papu also gifted with those dribbling skills. And of course, syempre, pinapractice din niya yan. Papu also from Tonto, Manila. He's playing with Cebu FC. Yung maganda rito para kay Papu, he gets to play in his home city in the heart of Manila.
And although, of course, Mendiola's down right now, not yet out, but should Cebu progress, imagine it's Visayas versus Mindanao in the semis. Davao Aguilas and the Gentle Giants.
It will sure be a derby if that will happen. But they will have to focus first at what is in front of them. Mendiola will look to spring a comeback as it is held by Season. Got it past Borlongan. Great footwork now. They're storming through. Mapula setting it over. Aningalan. And this challenge from Rosquillo, I believe, clearly hit his man and not the ball. Villanueva just clears it out. Rosquillo is hurt. Coach Josh Shermer not happy with that. He was pointing to the head. Rosquillo may have gotten his head hurt in that process.
Well, it already was a risky challenge for Rosquillo. Very fortunate na there was no big contact.
Sadly, he hurt himself with that ill-timed challenge.
Exactly.
We also got his Mendiola counterpart. I believe it was Aningalan.
And the referee, of course, just playing advantage in that situation before Villanueva finally clears that ball out to take some time off. Lots of stoppages throughout the course of this first half so far. It's been physical, it's been high intensity, but of course pretty much merited. It is the quarterfinals rather, and Cebu, of course, entering this match, a 2-0 cushion is not enough for them. They deemed, and that's why they scored another 2. Mendiola, that door's starting to become a little smaller for them. That window of opportunity.
But there is halftime coming up in a while. So this game far from done. And when we talk about it, Mendiola made their early changes, putting in Aningalan and Payosalan, veterans of their team. And they've been able to get some spells forward. And of course for Payosalan, he is their assist leader with 2 so far. Sa Mendiola naman, yung assist men. The leader is Chima Ozoka with 3, but is not playing again due to injury. And you have 4 players who have been able to rack up at least 2 assists when we refer to Cebu. They are Barishtasi, Ryo Togashi, Daniel Gadia, Murayama to wrap it up.
And makikita mo rito for Mendiola, ganong kalaking kawalan rin si Junior Sam. He provides that different dynamic. Nakakatakbo sila going up front when he's around. You can send the long ball to him and he will just make it work. And of course also Alu Wade from last season. So yun ang siguro nawawala sa Mendiola ngayon. Even Serge Caule.
Definitely Kaole jumped ship to Davao Aguilas Yumak. And here's that replay of what went on.
Now they have to take advantage of this Mendiola. They have not gotten a lot of set pieces. They have not advanced that ball that many times or instances. So ito, pagkakataon for them in their attacking third. Kailangan na maging spot on yung pwestuhan for them, especially in that edge of the box.
Well, this is a set piece to get it back for them. Hamed steps up to the plate. Sends it in. Diagonal ball, but nobody to meet it. Looks like a miscommunication. And here's another look.
Well, Hamed, of course, has good control, but I think the target man was John Carlos. But even for him, although mas matangkad siya sa mga kakampi niya, it was too high of a ball for him to meet. It could be a case of miscommunication, like what you said.
So Cebu's attackers there were caught flat-footed. That service from Hamed was looking promising. Well, let's see how they will fine-tune themselves over the course of this match. But now they have to deal with this counter with Owano going for Hama, but it is out off target and wide.
Well, nakita mo gaano kabilis yung transition for Cebu. Coming off a stop from the other end. They send a cross, and then the header, it just goes wide. That's how potent Cebu is. And syempre ang Cebu hindi rin naman magpapadaig. They know that yung kanilang level, they're participating in the AFC Cup. They're the runners-up of the league. And they've fortified that roster as we see on the bottom of your screens. 2 additional playing minutes before the conclusion of the first half. Although natalo sila ng malaki dun sa MacArthur in Australia, 8-2 yung score doon. Pero you see that they've also picked up some valuable lessons from there that can just make the team even better as the season goes along for them.
Definitely, as let's see how teams will see themselves to the end of the first 45 minutes. Virtually pretty much a virtuoso performance from Cebu. As Hama was called offside, great timing by Edwin Escosora. We see him trapping him there. So Cebu will have to track down now, and let's see how Mendiola will respond.
Just a few more sequences here before the first half ends. And if you're Mendiola, you have to also show that sense of urgency. You're already down 2-0 and 4-0 on aggregate. At least show something here to spark something, perhaps, a comeback in the second half.
And this long ball, Hama got to meet it. And was secured by Aningalan. He has just given them that extra dimension in this game. And combinations, fantastic stuff. Now on the further end. Sadly, they could not get it to De La Torre, the man in the midfield, that may banggaan. And sadly for Mendiola, their spell ends. The intention was right. De La Torre trying to play De La Torre. Sadly, couldn't get it. Just ran into, and he and Marius Correa just ran into each other. And there you go. First half action done and dusted. 2-0 for Cebu FC behind the goals of compatriots Rintaro Hama and Rio Togashi to give them a 4-0 lead on aggregate as they took a 2-0 win previously. Cebu are inching closer to the semifinals in the Copa Paulino Alcantara 2023. But we'll take a break. We have the highlights to keep you company, and later on, we will have the statistics. Catch you in a bit. About to exit the halftime huddle right here in Copa Paulino Alcantara 2023 action. Cebu FC hold a 2-0 lead in this one over Mendiola FC 1991, and here's what the statistics show us.
Well, it's a one-sided match so far, and it reflected on the statistics you're seeing on your screens right now. 11 shots for Cebu, 6 on target. Have to give a little bit of credit to Mark Pellejo and the Mendiola defense, but overall this was just Cebu attacking at every situation they can get their hands on. It was really just them pushing that ball forward and utilizing the connection between the midfield and the wingers that really made impact in this match so far. Of course, the 2 goals coming from Rintaro Hama and Ryo Togashi, the 2 Japanese nationals, reinforcements for Cebu.
So a number of substitutions were also made as this match was kicked off. We see Arda Chunkar and King Miyagi on the pitch.
Well, I think it's going to be game over for Togashi now. Well-deserved break, you can say, for him. 45 minutes, 1 goal to his name, and made it difficult for the defense. So it's just a different look here. What a luxury for Cebu to have Chunkar come off the bench to try and maybe add an insurance goal here in the second half.
Junker again has 5 goals this season and is ranked number 4 as Ace Villanueva had to come up with a bottom corner save. Rosquillo, Dabao, and with Hama stepping off, Chonker has the captain's armband. Demiroglu. So again, we have that Turkish influence here in Cebu FC. As Borlongan headed it down, Mendiola got to deny it initially. It was by Tanyamor, who came on as a sub also. Demiroglu. So Cebu's Turkish influence, as Mr. Urtasi, their owner, is Turkish.
And they also have that affiliation with Turkish Super League club Hatayspor. Unfortunately for them, yun yung disaster earthquake that rocked the entire city of Hatay forced them to cancel their season earlier this year.
So you saw that chippy affair between Payosalan and Papu Korsame. Papu got it going their way.
Good effort for him, just following the path of that ball, delaying the play a bit, and then just letting that ball go out para makakuha nila yung possession once again early here in the second half.
Gadya, space in the midfield there, just using it. Borlongan, collegiate teammates or university teammates connecting. Borlongan just giving acres of space. Chunker takes it and sends it over.
Well, Arda Chunker not wasting any time here. He got the green light to make that shot. Yun nga lang, napalakas at napataas. Token pressure on the part of the last line of defense there. Para lang, I think that did take a deflection, and that is why.
Corner kick.
Corner, yeah.
Hindi siya goal kick as we initially thought. And a set piece going for the further post. It is batted away, it seemed, from Pellejo, who has been busy in this game. Dabao. Owano won it. Negotiating traffic. Rafi Dabao and Owano again exchanging touches. Patient play from Cebu. They're making Mendiola work. All players of Mendiola FC in the half line. And now they opted to press, but it's opted to Kore getting it. Chunker got to break free, but he lost his angle. Chunker contra Tanyamor. Got past him. Got past 2. Couldn't get past 3. Miyagi. Great team effort from Mendiola. De La Torre is trying to get down and was fouled by King Miyagi in the process. King Miyagi also an attacking option for them.
Well, it's really just 2 players stepping down for Cebu, yung dalawang Japanese nila in Miyagi and Chunker. So It's really 2-4-2 situational substitutions here for Cebu.
Again, we did say they got to attract talent and maintain the talent they had from last season as a result of qualifying to the AFC Cup.
Ang nawala lang sa kanila, of course, is also a familiar face, si Mert Altinos. It's not part of the roster right now.
Mert, of course, opting to head back home to Turkey. Hamed trying to use his trickery. Played this promising ball forward. Carlos contra Demiroglu. De La Torre couldn't pull the trigger. It was taken now, but definitely out and about by Payosalan.
Masyadong natagalan ang Mendiola to put up a shot there. Ang ganda na ng setup ni Hajimadi. Yun nga lang, naka-recover ang Cebu, and then Payosalan opting for a long distance one. Is inaccurate that time. Nasayang yung setup ni Hamed doon. Just that short lob pass forward to Mapula, and couldn't really just get two quick touches for a shot itong Mendiola.
Well, what is nice to see is that they got to carve out an opportunity for them. So improvement, Mendiola growing into the game, but they still need to get on the scoreboard. As Papu sent it back in hopes of resetting. Chunker, flag is up. And he is the man adjudged to be offside, according to our linesman.
I think direct play yung sinusubukan doon ni Pafu. That's why the moment he saw Chunker from his peripheral vision, tumakbo siya to the other side kasi they're playing left to right now. Pero pumunta siya to the left of your screens to set up itong si Ace to give a long ball. However, Arda Chunker 2 ahead of the pack.
Medyo nagulat ako doon. Bakit baliktad bigla yung takbo ni Papu eh? Yun pala. Maganda ang intention doon, of course. Pati tayo nagulat eh, di ba?
baka nalito siya that they've already switched sides here. It is the second half.
Sa tingin ko, hindi naman nagulat si Papu. Tayo yung nalito. Siguro alongside yung mga viewers.
And he was pointing to Ace to really anticipate that ball. So he knows what he's doing.
Maganda yung discarte na yan. As they're knocking in those combinations. Corsame got to send it to the danger area, but they still keep the fire alive. Miyagi now finding himself on the left. Davao whipped it back in, but it was sent back to its origin by Escosora. Great read from Escosora. And we see the comments. A shout out also to Ma'am Jihan, one of our photographers, the colleagues. Also shout out to Sandy Miyagi and Isamu Miyagi. Isamu, or Mr. Miyagi, the father of King, watching from Okinawa, Japan. And good afternoon to you guys. Shout out to Uncle Jamer. Also hello to Filipino football player Christopher Reyes is watching this match from Iceland. Can I get a Viking clap, please? Ace Villanueva. They'll clear this. Going for Owano. Owano kontra Payosalan. Si Payosalan talaga yung spark nila here in this game. Just changing it up. His veteran wits sure driving them on, but they have to deal with this. May banggaan dito. But there was no call. The likes of Kore and Davao connecting to eventually pave way for this corner kick. A great number of corner kicks dito, Levi, no, para sa Cebu.
And again, it's just the power of the midfield setting it up for Cebu. Ang ganda ng field vision nila dito. They know where to put that ball exactly on the field, whether it's a through ball or with some elevation. And now they get another chance here to reset.
Demiroglu. One of the times that he is given that license to get forward. Yes, may mga tao sa comment, Chunker. Yes, that is how you pronounce Arda Chinker's name properly with the Turkish annotations. And there you go. It's corner after corner, piling up the pressure And thanks to all of that, of course, Cebu have been able to take this 2-0 lead behind their first half troops in Rintaro Hama and Togashi. That is Rio Togashi to be exact. And they were subbed off for new attacking options dito para sa dynamic Herb Cebu FC. Mendiola also changing it up now in hopes of pulling one goal back to start things, but Ace Villanueva was there, and a promising effort from Paul Mapula.
Good transition for Mendiola. So again, nakikita natin, paunti-unti, they're getting those instances where they're creating something, moving forward from an attacking perspective. And now a little bit of pressure as well from Mendiola. Again, they have to score.
Great initiative from Nikolai Abalos to press Demiroglu as they had to hit the emergency button. But they got it out of the clear. I think Mendiola were expecting that throw-in to go their way. At konting recap lang syempre sa mga quarterfinal matches natin kahapon. We did see Kaya FC Iloilo defeat the University of the Philippines 8-0 to take an 11-0 aggregate victory. Davao Aguilas UMAC defeated Club de Football Manila 1-0 to take the 2-0 lead in aggregate, as this was just saved now by Pellejo. Razonable just got it very dangerous in front of the goal mouth, but these guys do have an understanding for one another. Kore has been a boss in the midfield. And it was picked up by Mendiola now, trying to unleash on the counter. This is where they are absolutely dangerous. Aningalan Abalos, Demiroglu, Hamed. Winning the foul in the process. Hamed, of course, using his trickery. He does have great ball handling skills thanks to his futsal background.
And this is a dangerous spot for Mendiola. Very encouraging for them to win a few meters here with Hamed, of course, not giving up on that play. You know, it's really up to them to take this and execute well. There's a golden chance that's been gifted to them at the moment, 57 minutes into this contest.
This has to be the closest free kick for them. Kanina naka-free kick din yung Mendiola, but it was at an angle for them to make a delivery in hopes of finding a player to poke it or head it in. But options now, stepping up to the plate to drive this to the back of the net. Also players there possible for a service, but sadly Hamed sends it away. Tough afternoon for Hamed and company. Alongside him, that other option was Nikolai Abalos. Here's another look.
Well, of course, that was also making it a little difficult for Hamed. Lots of aerial into that one. Not really the kind of shot you want to get from that position.
They play this one back. Razonable, binigay kay Tanyamor. Sa kabila. Now the long ball. This is Mendiola's opting to take this route. But sadly, it's no good. There's another look at Nikolai Abalos, someone who has been active for them up front. Rosquillo kay Davao. So, Cebu, naka 4-4-2 formation ulit. And from the looks of it this time, Mendiola in the 3-5-2, or similar to how they started, as Owano tried to trigger this counter in hopes of finding Miyagi, but they recycle. Papu binalik dito. Miyagi. Again, his father's watching this live stream, as they said. Couldn't thread the needle in though. Chance for Mendiola to unleash. The pitch again relatively damp as a result of the rains earlier.
Well, Cebu trying to go to the ground several times during that particular sequence. But give credit to Mendiola, they know how to anticipate and get into the way of that ball, intercept the path. So at least for them, nothing materializing for Cebu.
So it's a foot race. Davao flooring his man, but there's no foul called. And let's take a look at that. It was Abalos. Kita nga natin kanina, nasa kaliwa si Abalos, ngayon nasa kanan.
And that was just a foot race, and then napisikal lang siya ni Charles Davao doon, which is legal from, again, if you're going side to side, shoulder to shoulder, pwede mong banggain yung kalaban mo for as long as you don't extend your elbow or your arm from that position.
So you also got to see, as there's a chance now, Kore sending it, but it is shy of the near post.
What a find. Just threading that needle para mapunta sa harapan ni Kore. It was gifted to him. Sayang yung tira ni Kore just went wide to the near post.
Mendiola giving them the space, and they took advantage of it. But Carlos secures it. And he gets them a set piece here. They're growing to this game, as we were talking about earlier. Hamed playing it quick. Great initiative. Demiroglu just sliding to get it out.
Too heavy on the first touch for Carlos when he got that ball back. But still, fortunately for them, that earns them a corner. Looks like they will take it short.
Hamed using his veteran wits. Every ounce of experience. De La Torre shifted, but sadly it's no good. So this will return to Cebu.
Well, again, if there is one player from that Mendiola camp who can hit from a considerable distance, it's De La Torre. Yun nga lang, off-footed shot for him. And not much of a challenge for Villanueva. Pero again, nakikita natin some positive signs for Mendiola. They're getting their ball to their attacking half. They're earning corners. They're getting set pieces. So paunti-unti, looks like someone's gonna get booked here.
And it is Tanya Moore receiving a word from referee Clifford Daipuyat. Arda Chunker was the man who was floored. They will resume play in the middle.
Unfortunately for him, obviously that forearm hitting the back of Chunker's head. Maswerte siya doon. No yellow card was given.
At mukhang na warning. So again, the winner of this tie or matchup will square off with Davao Aguilas Yumac, the returning side. And then later on, we have Maharlika Manila and Stallion Laguna facing off. The winner of that will square off with QF2 Iloilo. So yung next round ay semifinals na. As Payosalan tried to get it, but Chunker won it. Couldn't get it on though. Owano, but it is off and no good. So again, this is the quarterfinals teams trying to advance to these semis. This is the last day, in fact, of the quarterfinals.
Well, two teams already in the semifinals. The last two trying to also make it there. So it's Kaya, Davao, the winner of this series, which ngayon it's looking like it's Cebu. And then Stallion and Maharlika, of course, Stallion already with a 5-0 cushion. Natin dun sa sequence na yun. 2 shots from Cebu. Chunker just got that ball from point blank, and then the second ball recycled by Owano. Yun nga lang, masyadong mataas ang kanyang tira.
Avalos kay De La Torre lobbing this in, but it goes out. But you have to applaud the effort on the further end for Mendiola FC. And they played it short already, despite Mendiola having numbers back. And just a reminder to help you out, yung format nga natin dito, teams will play each other twice. Their score will be totaled. And that's how we will determine the winner as Miyagi cuts it back. Owano got it, but outside of the box already. Space to shoot. It is off, but it took a deflection.
Ramdam mo yung gigil dito kay Wano. He just wants to convert. From the previous play, he had lots of space in front of him to take that shot. And then ito again on the cutback.
Escosora doing well to change that up. Wano playing on the wing, naturally a striker that we'd see up front. But before this corner, there is a player from Cebu down, as you see on the touchline. We'll try to confirm who that is. Looks like it's King Miyagi. Needing some cold spray, of course, for some relief on any ailing muscles.
And it looks like Mendiola is going to insert 2 more players here. Pedimonte and Ladines. You will see that maya-maya. But before that, we'll have Borlongan take this.
Borlongan, the outswinger. Borlongan naturally a wing, and we often see those from him. And there's the cross. Denied well by the back line. Kore. He lobs it. Just punched out by the keeper. Pero offside daw ang tawag dito. So, Mendiola get the stop. And there you go, yung binanggit mo, Levi. 2 changes for Mendiola. Stepping off will be Aaron Carlos. And the other man is Franco De La Torre. Sadly, their captain will have to call it a day also, as he is a bright spot for them. So they'll try to get their subs now in hopes of springing a comeback.
Well, we're deep into this match. Naka-isang oras na tayo. More than 60 minutes of playing time. There you go, 67. And you need those pairs of fresh legs para just to spark something here from Mendiola. Although it's starting to look like a losing effort for them, at least try to get some momentum going in the final 25 minutes or so.
Because this is an uphill task. They have to score 4 goals and chase their tie on aggregate. Cebu, 2 goals in the last game and 2 more goals in this one. So when we look at it, as Hamed unfortunately couldn't meet it, Papu. Great pass to Miyagi with that vision. Gadia, but was swarmed by Payosalan and denied. Abalos triggers this one. Promising from them. Mapula. He has showed us some of those moments in this game when we refer to Mapula. Kay Mr. Jojo Partosa tuning into this game, of course, from Cebu. Abalos dispossessed by Chonker, their striker, down to help on defense. And it looks like they initially played advantage, pero ayan, foul on Mendiola, and Cebu to resume this defensive free kick.
And you gotta love the effort of Chunker, of course, taking advantage of his size, his physique against the much smaller counterpart, winning that ball back for the Gentle Giants.
But that was up for grabs, and it's with Mendiola. So now they have that sense of urgency as this ball was played back. And that took a touch from a Mendiola player. Cebu saying that should have been an indirect free kick dahil back pass posible. But referee Clifford Daypuyat said that was not the case. They get this one in now. Storming through. They got it past Ace Villanueva, but it was off target. Close but not quite.
Well, Mendiola, they keep on knocking on the door here. Good find, just threading that ball in between the defenders. Everything but the finish there, but again, a good set-up play for them. And for Mendiola, the immediate goal really is makaisa man lang, just to take one back and make it a more respectable result.
It was Amir Aningalan who got that for Mendiola. Or let's see if they could spring up a miracle. But one thing's for sure, knowing their brave fighting spirit, if ever they will go down fighting. Well, there is a call. Coach Joshua Shermer is furious. Slammed the ball down. So that's 2 yellow cards issued now in this short span. Chunker was hurt and Abalos got booked with a yellow.
Well, of course, Coach Joshua Shermer just trying to get his point across, although his act merited him a yellow. Ito yung nangyari. I believe boot to boot, and then obviously unwanted contact there causes Chunker to go down. And then reacting on behalf of his player is the coach of Cebu.
A late challenge, we could say there. Not anymore playing for the ball. Demiroglu, if you are Cebu, you want to finish strong and rack up more goals so that you could boost your confidence for the semifinals and the AFC Cup. So they're a third already through the group stage of the AFC Cup. 2 of 6 matches completed. But this, of course, the Copa, their mother tournament, along with the Philippines Football League, as they knock those combinations in. Borlongan storming in. Options in the middle. Chunker sends it in. 3-0 here. Arda Chunker off the bench and continuing that hot form. He now has 5 goals.
And again, it's the connection here for Cebu. If you will follow the ball, you'll follow the play. 1 pass, 2 passes, 3 passes, Borlongan with lots of room and a head start. Pipili na lang ng kakampi. And then ultimately, he just sends that one to Chunker, who does the rest from point blank range. So this is a better angle of it. And then of course, you also have Miyagi.
So
Conversion.
just a correction. Heading into this game, Chunker had 5 already. Nakaapat siya sa group stage, nakaisa sa last game. At nakaisa pa ngayon. So it is 6 goals to his name. And he is now in joint 3rd place in the top scorer category. And he's got good company with Japanese speedster Daiso Horikoshi. And you've got Finn McDaniel of Stallion Laguna FC.
And even during the league, silang dalawa ni Chima Uzoka yung kumbaga nag-uunahan for Cebu dun sa kanilang Golden Boot race. We also had Gayoso for a moment, and then eventually, of course, it goes to Kaya FC Iloilo when they won the league title.
Mendiola. They want to end, of course. They want to end it with a good note. And mind you, there is the possible scenario that Mendiola could win this game, but lose on aggregate, of course, as what we compare here is the result over 2 games. Tina total ulit yung mga goals. And it's been a long time since we have seen this format here in the Philippines for local games. Chunker, but it is no good. Of course, the home and away format is something that we are familiar with sa mga AFF Men's Championship in the semifinals and finals. As it looks like we have a goalkeeper change. It is Jack Zambrano who will come on, and Ace Villanueva will call it a day. Like for like substitution, obviously, but also when you look at their background, pareha sila. Taga Universidad ng Pilipinas. Zambrano also a Cebuano and did suit up for in the CISAFI in Cebu. After that, he tried his hand in the UAAP, but the pandemic cut that stint of his short, and he opted to turn pro here with Cebu.
And it looks like Barish Tasi is also set to become part of this 11 on the field for Cebu.
Their team captain set to get a run in this match, but sadly for King Miyagi, he will have to be subbed off. We did see earlier, may problema nga kanina sa kanyang hita, his left leg, and that may seem like a precautionary change here for Coach Josh Shermer.
Definitely a short afternoon of football for Miyagi, but you're right. Cebu is in the midst of a very busy October. They're playing another home game here in as part of the AFC Cup later this month.
And I believe that will be on October 26th. So just stay tuned, of course, for announcements. Busy month for Philippine football. But here's a spell for Mendiola, but Demiroglu says no. But in a tight space, Gadia, fantastic team effort for the likes of Ladines. But Cebu negotiate the tight space.
A quick turn by Gadia, making it possible for them to just release from the back.
Zambrano cleared that earlier. Great distance covered on Barish Tasi. His natural position is left back. Pero mukhang ginagamit siya rito bilang center midfielder alongside Daniel Gadia, as that was close for Mendiola and in almost managing to find Viron Pedimonte. So Zambrano to get this back in. Well, here's another replay of that.
Just going to the ground, a through ball, just a few yards in front or ahead of Pedimonte. But again, nakikita natin, there's playmaking for Mendiola. They know what to do. They know how to execute the system that they have under Coach Jeff Kuwaikong. But you have to also realize that these are younger players straight out of their respective universities. Again, mostly from San Beda, and yeah, they also have to instill among themselves na it's still a different level when you're playing club football here in the country.
Definitely, because again, playing club football or top flight club football can connect you to playing in the AFC Cup or even the AFC Champions League. It's the AFC Cup for Stallion Laguna and Cebu FC, and Kaya FC Iloilo representing the Philippines Football League in the Champions League. The crown jewel of Asia when it refers to clubs playing against each other. Demiroglu, patient play from Cebu. They have displayed that the entire match, and they have just stomped themselves over Mendiola FC. Borlongan got beaten by Razonable. Razonable also has shown us those moments of brilliance in this game.
It's again that never-ending process for Mendiola. Every game in the bag. The more caps, the better for their younger players.
And here comes Borlongan. Not on the clear, and it sails over the bar for them. So Cebu we can say are 13 minutes away from getting or advancing to the finals, wherein they will face Davao Aguilas UMAC. And for Mendiola, it could be 13 minutes until their Copa Paulino Alcantara ends.
Well, as they conclude their run here, the next 2 months, November, December, of course, a time to just, realign things, talk things over for them, and improve individually, whether you're on the field or off it. Just work on your body, work on your training regimen as professional athletes. And again, for Cebu, a favorable side of the bracket for them, as looks like someone's gonna get booked here.
And that is a yellow shown by Clifford Daipuyat, ang ating referee, to Marvin Ladines from the looks of it. There you go. Yung nangyari dito. Gadiat first. And there was the boot outstretched.
That ball just ping-pongs, and then an awkward spot, of course, for Mendiola to execute a high boot. I think ang napuruhan doon ay yung tagiliran ni Kore. It's just minutes management now for Cebu, and you did mention how busy they are for this month. So they also have to manage the time of their players. Oh, Hamed and Gadia with some tough love for each other.
Yung mga players to look out for natin. Still going at it in this game. But we have a pair of changes. And it will be John Marquez and Peter Banaynal coming on. And again, Mendiola are in their gold kits and Cebu FC are in their red. Cebu will resume this game in a bit as they are playing from left to right. It's a 3-0 advantage for them, and they are poised to take this win in the quarter-final round and advance to the semis. And stepping off is Paul Mapula.
And same with Hamed. That's a good substitution to make. Also, I think they have to be realistic about this. It's a lost cause for them already, and we know Hamed kagagaling lang sa injury that really forced him out for a long period of time. So it's important not to push him to his limit as well, so that he can take care of his body for the next season or for the next cycle of football for them.
Of course, you also want to look long-term in certain situations. Of course, you just don't want to think about the next game. Think about the next one. You may be able to play now or continue playing, but there's the risk of getting hurt. As Chunker gets this, it's 1-on-3 though in the middle, and he took it, but it is off and no good.
Not a solid hit on that ball coming from Chunker, although it was of course his strong foot, and kagandahan talaga dito sa two-pronged attack ng Cebu, you can say, with Chunker and either Borlongan or Wano, is that they just get a small opening. They're not afraid to take it, and that's what has defined the scoreline so far. 3-0 for them.
And Papu got this back. What an outing he has had here, playing right back dito para sa Cebu. And it was picked up by Banaynal. Escosora now with the armband. Now on the further end. And there's a duel on the At mukhang may foul dito. And it was Jaime Rosquillo who was booked. Getting into the nerves there of Viron Pedimonte. Of course, Mendiola have to be frustrated also with the way this has gone for them. Sadly, they will not be able to duplicate their semi-final finish sa Copa Paulino Alcantara, which they managed to do in 2019.
And Cebu also in the recent Copa that happened in the bubble, also making it to the semifinals. So every time Cebu competes in an organized tournament, gusto nila, they finish high.
Zambrano punched this out. Great reverse header by Davao. Okay, discarded dun ah. Baristasi. He eventually prevailed in that scramble. He gets forward with his fresh legs, but he just went past the sideline. At babalik ang bola sa Mendiola FC. And of course, for Mendiola, we do expect to see them again in the Philippines Football League, as they are one of the member clubs that we can say that is what is next for them. Well, there's a fall, but the referee said play on. As you said, Levi, players will have to stop or play until the whistle. As they send it in, Zambrano got it to deny any Mendiola hopes of finding the back of the net. Demiroglu. You gotta love the confidence that they have in their center back. When I say that, he unfortunately lost the ball, but he is able to get it out to the goalkeeper box in tight spaces. Yun doon yung tiwala ni Zambrano kay Demiroglu.
And I think the back four in general just played very steady in this match. They know that Mendiola is going to try and be more offensive-minded, although the traffic has gone Cebu's way. Whenever that ball is on the attacking third or the final third of Cebu, nakikita naman natin how just steady the back line is in terms of holding the ground for them.
As Papu sends this one almost to the grandstand. Mendiola out to get a consolation. So far, it's a series of victories for Cebu that will get them to the semifinals in the Copa. Up next for them will be Davao Aguilas UMAC. And we can say again, Davao Aguilas once a PFL side, Cebu FC a new one, and they will collide for the first time in their respective histories. And that is a matchup that the Philippine football community is definitely looking forward to. Sabi mo nga kanina, there is that possibility. Visayas versus Mindanao. We're going to get it, ladies and gentlemen.
It's also good for the overall landscape of football here. As we see Gadia get fouled. It's good for the overall landscape of the club football scene here, just to know how expansive it is. It's not just Metro Manila or Luzon, it's the entire archipelago really that is involved. And for Davao, if this is going to be a sign of the things to come, perhaps if they have aspirations of returning to the league as well, then obviously they're making a good account of themselves being in the semifinals of the tournament already.
Davao, of course, finishing second in the group of death. Stallion came in at first. They were in second. Mendiola in third. Mendiola taking the best third placer route, as here's Payosalan. But it's returned Demiroglu. Owano in the middle now. Ball with too much weight in hopes of playing Borlongan.
Just too much speed on that ball, even if Borlongan already has a very fast running speed.
There's a high boot though. Unfortunately, no one was hurt. But what an effort sending it past. Mendiola FC get their consolation behind the individual effort of John Marquez. What a move. Parang obstacle course lang dun para kay Marquez. And they spoiled the clean sheet of Cebu. Not just in this game, but on aggregate.
Brilliant individual offensive run there coming from John Marquez. Just taking that ball and taking the play on his own. Tatlo ang iniwasan niya dito. Apat including Jack Zambrano. You know what that run reminds me of? Yung goal ni Rasmussen in that recent friendly against Afghanistan, if I'm not mistaken.
And that was right here, of course.
And the same side also.
That's right. So a consolation here for Mendiola in the quarterfinal tie. So let's look at it in this perspective. One more goal for them, and they could potentially draw this game. But they could get their hopes back, of course. Pick up one goal, you're within one of Cebu. You can possibly spoil this. But on aggregate, matatalo sila.
But already, if you're going to assess this half, this has been the best half for them in the 180 minutes that, of course, they're going to play.
As they play it back. Slowly but surely, Cebu trying to get up. Barish. Arda was there. Owano. Trying to give it to Borlongan again, one of their primary creators on the wing. Kore couldn't get it. Will Chunker get it? Dueling with Payosalan. Payosalan, a tough man to beat. Pero binilik kay Papu. Gadia. We can say, Levi, nanalo si Gadia sa kanyang matchup dito with Hamed Hajimadi, as they were the two players to look out for. Both engines in the midfield. Nasa midfield na, nasa gitna pa. Playing central midfield.
And just total team effort here for Cebu. Talagang in sync yung kanilang backline, yung kanilang midfield, and of course the attackers just making up, of course, this three goal score line for them. It's now 3-1, of course, owing to the consolation goal of Marquez, but just that effort as a team, that cohesiveness as a unit was what did it for Cebu. And not just this leg, but also the first leg for them against Mendiola.
So it was that high-level performance of theirs that gets them this ticket to these semis. Everything set here except for the final score in this game, and on aggregate, of course, as they get it to Barish. Whips it in. Arda gets it, avenging that goal they conceded. And they make it 4-1. Just a little extra icing on the cake for them. And Arda Chunker now with 7 goals, tied with Yuta Nomura in the top scorer race. And what a find from Barish.
And the brace here, of course, for Chunker. Great assist by Barish from the left side once again. All of their goals for Cebu just coming off a great sequence with 3-4 good passes being strung together. Wala silang goal dito na individual run or individual play. That's what you admire about the way they are playing. And of course, Coach Joshua Shermer just instilling that kind of offensive system for them. Really, really a good sign for them moving forward. And syempre itong Cebu gustong maka-upset din dun sa AFC Cup stage, which they of course are going to play more matches against a tough environment, a tough atmosphere.
So Mendiola, we could say, accomplished this moral victory of spoiling the clean sheet. John Marquez found the back of the net, but sadly, Arda Chunker just canceled it out. But hey, a goal is a goal for them, as they are less than 3 minutes away from ending their 2023 Copa Paulino Alcantara campaign.
And if you're Mendiola, obviously the long-term goal is to close the gap between you and the best clubs in the PFL or the Copa, of course. Kaya, Cebu, and Stallion going 1, 2, 3 in that order. You have to assess yourselves, nasa anong level na ba tayo? Can we compete against the best of the best? Well, they have been in the pro football scene for quite some time now. We know how they operate things. They're a professional pathway. Their ties with not just San Beda, even Imus, their home field.
Right.
And they have a grassroots program going on there. So things look optimistic for them. They just have to keep going and become more competitive in the seasons to come.
Mendiola actually with a number of those grassroots communities which you love. They're all over the place, which is nice to see, of course. Educating the future through the sport of football.
And shoutout na rin kay Nevin Reyes, of course, just managing this team from a distance, getting involved. Yung sinasabi niyang contribution niya sa football or sa community.
Of course, and when you were talking about the City of Imus grandstand, yung home ng Mendiola, they did make history last year by playing their first ever home game there in that very venue, which also hosted the 2022 AFF Women's Championship and a portion of the 2019 Southeast Asian Games, yung football tournament, syempre. So we still see the intensity high here, with less than a minute remaining. And if you're Mendiola, hey, if you could pick up another goal, why not? But it is 6-1 on aggregate. Cebu again with that advantage as they won 2-0 in their first leg. Teams got to play themselves twice. Again, the final score, or the scores aggregated to determine the winner. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the full-time whistle. It is Mendiola FC 1991 1. Dynamic Herb Cebu FC 4. But over on aggregate, Cebu take it 6-1 in this quarterfinal match, or quarterfinal tie, as we will take you through the highlights in this one. Mendiola started out difficult as, again, they had that mountain to climb. Cebu, they were guns out and blazing here as they really wanted to make sure that they get in style and with confidence sa semis.
Well, yung palang pressure na pinakita ng Cebu in the first 10 minutes, that set the tone throughout the course of this match. Talagang ayaw nilang magpatalo and they weren't contented with just that 2-0 aggregate score entering this match. They approached this match with a clear intention, and that is to play it the right way, be aggressive offensively, and of course also take care of the entire field. And that's what they did, although they did concede one goal late. That was a brilliant individual effort from John Marquez. But overall, it was really Cebu dictating the flow of this contest and showing that still they are on a different level when you compare them to Mendiola.
You see that, of course, Cebu, an AFC Cup team, they were the runner-up in the Philippines Football League. And there was that goal of Ritaro Hama, and right after we had Rio Togashi who found the back of the net. 2-0 yung score sa halftime as Togashi was a facilitator for them also and capped it off with a goal. And that pretty much wrapped up yung first half shift, sabihin natin, sa Cebu, because they made changes halfway through with their bench as they gave them a run also. Arda Chunker scoring a brace off the bench. That's in 45 minutes, which is also a great feat. And there was John Marquez for Mendiola FC. And we are talking about it, of course, not their date, but their players here and there in their respective positions got to show flashes of brilliance, like one of them being Nicolai Abelos to add other than John Marquez scoring.
Now, the challenge here, of course, for Mendiola is to piece together those individual talents into one cohesive whole. They're not yet at that level. They understand that, but there's lots to learn here for Mendiola after quite a good second half for them, in particular. 2-1 yung scoreline doon if you will separate the two halves. But for Cebu, again, it was just sheer dominance for them, and they know what they were doing. A new system, a new team, a new head coach, and they got some familiar faces back, and they're making the most out of the talents that they have.
Definitely, when you talk about that, and of course, Mendiola, they did get that goal. It was a consolation of sorts for them as the action stayed intense here despite Cebu holding that lead for them. JB Berlongan was another spark for them, or definitely not a spark. He was a regular man in the attack. And when we talk about Mendiola, Hamed Hajimari was actually one of those guys for them as expected, but it was that matter of who was going to help him in the midfield. And doon naman sila De La Torre and Payosalan, but who will help that core trio of theirs? But again, this Mendiola team, sabi nila dati, dami lang rookies because it's their first time to play in this stage. But a lot of them actually are with San Beda University. And there was the goal for Marquez. Sensational in this tie, of course. So they get to end in a good note.
And Mendiola, it's just more time together for them. A lot of these players are new. They have to keep playing these games. They have to keep learning from these games. It's of course you have to really just absorb these experiences, even if you're on the losing end. I know it hurts. It's frustrating at times, but that's how you get better and that's how you improve if you're Mendiola. And for Cebu, of course, they want to better on their semi-final finish in the last Copa. And look, they're a couple of wins away from making it to the final of this tournament.
And that was the final goal of the match from Arda Chunker again to seal his brace. And as we mentioned with Mendiola, they have that brave fighting spirit. Unfortunately, they were down in the quarterfinals in 2 games, but they went down fighting, brave and hard, as we will eventually take it to the statistics right here. And it just shows, of course, or it just displays or paints the picture of Cebu's dominance in this tie.
Well, it was a 4-1 result. Cebu again started this game, one-way traffic for them. Eventually, of course, the game opened up, but they were already dictating the flow of this contest. They controlled possessions. They took care of the ball when they had it. They had a lot of shots. Credit to their teamwork. Again, it's the midfield that usually jump starts the offensive. Couple of good passes, short passes, sometimes through ball or lobs. Doesn't matter. Lots of variety for them. And they got almost half of their shots on target. A lot of set pieces as well. And that really did it for them in this contest.
And that does it, ladies and gentlemen. Dynamic Herb Cebu FC take it on aggregate over Mendiola FC 1991. It came out as 4-1 in this game, but it became 6-1 on aggregate. And there you go. On to the semifinals for them. And Mendiola, on the other hand, can hold their head high. And that does it for match number 1 on this Monday evening. We still have Stanley Laguna FC and Maharlika Manila out to seal that other quarterfinal spot. But thank you very much in behalf of the entire crew. This was Clara Manzano on call for this one alongside Levi Verora, and in behalf of Direct David Chot Diaz, replay operator Renzi Medina, camera operators Paula Tagra, Jason Maestre, James Baldovice, and Lou Arcila. We are signing off from this one, and thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next game.